Some of the law enforcement agencies are reaching out to their communities through their smartphones. Your smartphone. We all have them. We all use them right now. And they are becoming a valuable tool for our local law enforcement agencies as they will reach out to the community to share information. And to talk a little bit more about that is Kevin Cummings. He is the Vice President of Sales for the Sheriff app. Thank you for being with us on the Oakland County MegaCast.
Absolutely. Great to be with you, Ronnie.
I love that you and your team came up with this. For those who maybe aren't familiar with it and how you got started, give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have been in business over 10 years. We've been developing apps for right at 10 years. And really, we started with an emergency management app, and that led to a sheriff and other public safety apps. But really, over the last 5-6 years, our entire focus has been serving those that serve by developing a mobile app to help those agencies reach their public where they are. To your point, folks, the lens they view life, wrong, right, or indifferent, is on their smartphone. So,
yeah, I mean, just to think about phone technology from where it started, like you said, 10 years ago to now, completely different. And knowing that, I know the Oakland County Sheriff's Department here in our area recently did get an app, I believe through your company. When someone downloads this app, what are they looking for? What can it do, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the key things they're looking for is a preferred medium to see the information for the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. In addition to that preferred medium to see most of the commonly accessed information on their website would be push notifications. So the Oakland County Sheriff's Office will be pushing relevant communications to them that may impact the area. Also think about the partnership opportunity that people have with their public safety agencies and being able to potentially submit tips in that preferred medium to make the sheriff's agency aware. But it may be things from, inmate information that may be convenient in terms of, recent bookings or recent releases, or, for a parent that's concerned and maybe sex offenders in their area and being aware of where sex offenders are. There's a sex offender map. So there's really just so much available for the community, depending on their area of interest. But it's the easiest way to be able to stay in touch with your sheriff's office.
Yeah, because are you finding, while a lot of that information is already available through websites, it's different if it's on your phone, because while you're thinking about it, you have access to it?
I think you're exactly right. It's that opportunity to stay top of mind with your community. And, to your point, the information may be in social media or it may be in the website, but they're maybe not coming across that as much. And so with the app, the latest stats from Pew Research says that 94% of those agencies, 94% of those 13 to 49 have a smartphone, and 90% of the digital content time they're on a smartphone, they're in an app. So overwhelmingly, most of this information is digested via a mobile app.
I do say I believe it's all about apps right now. If a business, if you want to reach people, you do need an app. But knowing that we also have Ring cameras and other organizations such as that have teamed up with police departments to send out some of those alerts like Nexo. How does this work in conjunction with that, or is it kind of separate?
Yeah, excuse me here. I would say that I think all of those are examples of partnerships with the public, right? All of those are examples of opportunities for public safety agencies to engage with their public and leverage technology in those preferred mediums. If you were talking about Ring, it may be a situation where if you've got something that's of concern, you might use the app to submit a tip regarding that to your public safety agency. But as far as a direct connection with Ring, there would not be that direct connection.
And knowing that, because so much of this is about alerts and privacy, if I download the app, I can hear the conversation now with some individuals. I don't want the police tracking me. Have you guys had those conversations? I'm sure it was a part of your development discussion.
Certainly. So those are common questions. The reality is the user is totally anonymous, and any permissions that are provided, they're opting into. For example, if they were to submit a picture and they wanted to submit a tip, they're giving permission to be able to go access only their camera for the specific purpose of attaching the picture they want to provide to that agency. Or let's just say it's a directory feature in the app and they go click to call. They're giving permission to use their phone only relative to be able to click to action to dial that number. So any permissions they're given are for the purpose of using the app in the native functionality. Everyone is anonymous, so there's not any PI that's provided to the sheriff's office. So, that's very common in terms of the questions, and all of those would be under the development, under the settings, in terms of the permissions granted.
Oh, I'm glad you touched on that, because that's one of the things I was going to ask. If I'm submitting something anonymously, even if I don't give my name and my number, isn't there still a way to track me through my IP?
Yeah, and that's one of those things that when you look, I spent 18 years in telecom and IT, and it would be the same thing if you looked at, let's just say that somebody called and they made a threat to a business. Let's just say they said, hey, there's a bomb that's in the building, and they blocked their caller ID. With the appropriate subpoenas in the process that you would go through, is there something potentially trackable? There would be in terms of that, as far as caller ID not given. But in terms of any IP or PI, when I look at a PI as far as personal information, there's nothing conveyed from our company to the agency regarding that tip.
Kevin Cummings with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. He is the Vice President of Sales for the Sheriff app, the Oakland County Sheriff's Department here in our local area. Recently did come up with an app through your company. And can you kind of give an overview? First, is it available to Apple as well as Android users? And what will people find on this as far as features if they've never downloaded the app? And I would imagine it's free to download.
It's 100% free to download, so I would encourage everyone to download the Oakland County Sheriff's Office app in their app store. So that is available in both Apple and Android. And in terms of some common features that you would look, and I'm just looking down at the app, there's an emergency handbook that is provided. So there's a lot of different scenarios that, citizens be able to have that in a native format and at their fingertips in the event of emergency. A convenient contact us directory, a message from Sheriff Michard, a community services icon where you can see the community services available from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, an inmate locator, again, with recent release, recent booking, or inmate search, other inmate information, whether that's depositing funds or, other information there, visitation hours, a most wanted section that's going to show the most wanted for Oakland County, a tip submission icon to be able to submit tips, anonymous or otherwise, sex offender search of sex offenders in the Oakland County area, that there's a location services, if you have location services on, where you can see where you are, as well as a map of those that are in the area, records unit information. There's also a COVID-19 module that we've put in for agencies to kind of help them provide information to their community regarding most recent CDC information. There's also a weather map that has the weather there in the Oakland County area, but also has a follow me feature so they can conveniently see information as far as 7-day forecasts, hourly information, as well as a social media feed. It's going to pull the Twitter as well as have an icon for other social media, Facebook and otherwise in the app, and then other resources provided by the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. So it's, to your point, Ronnie, it's that opportunity for people to essentially have their public safety organization more top of mind in that partnership. I think of, Sheriff Bouchard and, him wanting to be in greater service as we're serving hundreds of sheriffs across the country. More and more public safety agencies are obviously being mindful of that opportunity they have to reach and serve their public where they are, which is on that preferred medium. And this is obviously a great step for them to take as additional efforts they're making there in Oakland County.
So I just downloaded the app and the time that you were talking, and it's like you said, a lot of this you can already find on their website. However, having it right here at your fingertips, so much easier and so much quicker. And also, I do want to make one suggestion for a change.
Yes.
I think Deputy Max needs his own page.
Absolutely.
Deputy Max is Oakland County. If you follow the Oakland County Sheriff on his Facebook page, he has Deputy Max, and they take the dog out, and it's such a cute little dog. But always cute to have Deputy Max, because it and again, it's not just that you have these dogs, but it's really a community outreach effort for these law enforcement agencies to be able to reach the community in a little bit of a different way. So I'm looking at the fugitives, and I'm really surprised. I'm like, oh, what'd she do? I always like mesmerized by female fugitives, by the way. But you can get a lot of information on the app. Just go to the App Store, put in the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, and it pops up quick and easy. So thank you all for designing this app and being the brains behind it, because it is definitely a community service.
Absolutely.